So good afternoon. As promised, I'm trying to show you the process for the remote administration of final exams. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Exam4 software. And you can see it's got the May 22nd, 2020 expiration date, and that's how you know if you've downloaded the current one. So now the same website you went to download the software, www.exam4.com, spell it correctly though, don't do what I just did. There it is. That is going to be your remote proctor. So go to L, or law schools, M, Maryland Carey. There it is. Notice right now, if you haven't downloaded software, you'd fill in these fields and download it, and it's supported for Windows 8.1 and 10, and then Mac, you see which operating systems. So you're now ready to take your final exam. So if your exam's at 9 a.m., you could come in and download your exam questions at 8:50. If it's a 1:30 exam, then 1:20 p.m., 6:30 p.m. exam, then 6:20. You get the idea. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to click on your exam, and they'll all be there. I'm going to send you ahead of time. You'll already have it. The exam number you're going to use for that exam, you're going to type it in. Click continue. Oh yeah, good point. I forgot to do that exam number, so let me try this one. So if this works, nobody take 289 for your practice exam. Alright, so now you see it says start exam. And since it's a 1-hour exam, it tells you, since I'm starting it at 12:01 p.m., that it'll be due at 1:01 p.m., but there'll be some grace period time built in, and so you'll see that, so you'll know exactly how much time you have. So I click start exam, and you'll see here is where I'm going to go ahead and get my exam question. So I can open it. And like I said, my recommendation to you is to print them off, as I've done here, for a hard copy, so you can mark them up and what have you, and then just destroy them after you're done. However, if you don't have a printer, you can always save them onto your computer. And so I could do that as well. That could be an option for me. So again, the two things that you're always welcome to do until the point that you start the exam is you can read the instructions but not the questions themselves. And so in this illustration with the practice exam, the first 2 pages are the exam instructions but not the questions themselves. And you'll notice for this administration, these instructions are going to look very different than what you're used to, because everything's remote administration, and so things are very different this time around. Now, the other thing that you're welcome to do is get set up in the exam software to the point that it says wait. So in this case, I took exam 289, and remember, you only put your name or initials. So remember, in the pull-down menu, practice exam is first. If you picked administrative exam A or B, which I think was the other example I gave you, it's all the way down at the bottom. Administrative use only 1 and administrative use only 2. Otherwise, when you're actually in the real exam period, you're going to notice all your exams are here with one exception. The one exception is I did not include alternate dispute resolution. So if that applies to you and you will be taking alternate dispute resolution, you'll do other exam A. But for all the other classes, you'll notice your exams are there and you would select those. So the two things I can do until I'm ready to start the exam at the appropriate time is I can get set up in the software to the point that it says wait, which is the 5th screen. Right now I'm at the 3rd screen. Now I'm going into the 4th screen. I've advised faculty, even if they want to do a closed exam, to let you use open in the software, only if for no other reason, for the purpose that you can still access your exam questions, especially if you cannot print them wherever you're taking the exam. So I've now put in everything, and you'll see it says wait. So the two things that I could do until, let's say I was taking a 1:30 exam and it's 1:24. So with the 6 minutes, I can get set up in the software to the point that it says wait, and I can read the instructions, but not the questions themselves until 1:30. Now at 1:30, boom, click begin exam, stay on time, end on time, and then just end the exam, submit electronically like you normally would. Now for the very few handwriters that I have, I did provide instructions both in what I sent you and on this practice exam. And so it does tell you one thing that you can do if you have a smartphone is download the OneDrive app. And even me at my advanced age, I was able to do it and figure it out. So that is a way that you could scan your handwritten answers and then submit them electronically. So let's say it's now 1:30. I click, I begin exam. It's going to go through the security settings and disable things that I should not have access to. And that may take a moment. You see now I'm ready to go ahead and type my answers. So I could type my answers. And then when the exams are done, your exam time is done, just go ahead like you would a normal exam. You were self-proctoring. End exam now. Are you sure? Confirm. And notice that when the font turns blue, you're off the clock. Now, remember it's always a manual 2-step process. And so notice I'm waiting for the internet. So I'm off the clock, so I'm fine in that respect, but I still need to submit my answer electronically. Now, if I'm a handwriter, again, I would encourage you to download the OneDrive scanning software. You would scan that and then send that to me at sboggs, B-O-G-G-S, at law.umaryland.edu, reasonably after the end of the exam time. So if it's a 3-hour exam plus an hour grace period and it's a 1 o'clock exam, then really I should receive it no later than, so 3 hours plus 1 hour, so about 5:30, so by 5:32. But the grace period really is designed if you run into technical difficulties, so there's no expectation that you would take that full amount of time. However, it's yours to use. So if you finish, let's say for a traditional 3-hour exam, you finish 3 hours and within the grace period you bleed over a few minutes, and then I receive your submission thereafter, then that's fine. But of course, if you run into any problems in the administration of your exam, you should only reach out to me and not your faculty member. And that's it. If you have any other questions, just go ahead and email me. I will respond timely, but understand as we approach the finals period beginning on the 20th, first and foremost, my goal is a smooth administration. So it has to be, my first priority is to make sure exams are posted and ready to go on time, and that faculty get the responses from students in a timely manner. But I will respond to your questions. Now, one caveat, and this is both for me and IT support. If your faculty member is allowing you to take it at any point during the exam administration and you choose to take it, I don't know, let's say between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m., then chances are I will not be available to respond to your questions, and there'll be absolutely no IT support. So just something to keep in mind as you plan on when to take the exam, if that option is available to you by your faculty member. Good luck. Wish you all the best.